outside of the human dimension are huge. And when you look at the DNA, they actually can take the parts of the DNA out and they can read it like a little scroll. It's like you pull it out like this, and you can actually read what you need to adjust, what you need to create, bring in, take out. You roll it back in, you put it back in, you work with it. You have a conscious knowing of what's actually happening in your DNA. For years I've wondered, what on earth is the Akashic records in my cells? What do I look for in them? And I saw them. It's like the Akashic records are like these little memory banks in my consciousness. And they're all labeled. They've all got BC, AC. They're all labeled. There's different labels. And some look like the crystals that we've got here on the earth, different styles of gems and crystals and precious stones and others. I wouldn't know how to describe the identification marks, but each one of those identification marks relates to a certain time zone, a certain experience on our planet and within the human connection. And when you pull them open, it's not like a recording that we know it. It's a visual recording. It's a sensory recording, and you can relive the moment, and then understand, and then you close it up again. But it's never going to be truly closed because you've reopened it. You've reconnected to it. It's like when you truly understand the enormity of who we are, or we all say, I come from my divine center. What is the divine center? I don't see a divine center in us. What I see is this energy that is me. And that's divine. That's the creative person. That's the I am. And when I move, electrical flashes come off me. When I speak, it's like nothing I've ever heard before. And yet I fully understand everything. I want that here. I want that here. I'm not this. I'm not. I'm bigger. And I'm more.
So Lou, do you want to tell us what happened to you when you were stopping, when you were pausing? Like, you know, what was the experience that you were experiencing?
My body just disappeared. And I had this connection that went through me and out of me, and everywhere I moved, it was like I was just getting downloads of information coming through. It was like everybody has this, I suppose, even I did, up to a point where people would say, you know, you get downloads and you think of the Matrix film where they've got all of this binary stuff coming down. It wasn't anything like that. It was color. It was literally like raindrops of color just hitting me. And as they hit, they were penetrating into my skin and finding their way to the relevant place that they were needing to be in. And I said, what is this? And it was like, all I got was, it's the whole. It's the whole. And it felt completely safe, and it felt completely what I needed to do. And there is no need to breathe. But we breathe because that's what we've been trained to do. And our brains don't know how to function without our bodies breathing. And it panics, and that's why it shuts everything off.
Has anybody on there or in the room got a question for Lou about anything she's experienced while we're in this moment?
There's no depth up there. It's like we have the glass. When I was trying to pick up the glass, it wasn't real. That's why I couldn't grip it. I had to remind myself I was back in here. To be so fluid that you don't need the solidity of this. It's just, I can't put it into words. It was just,
Cool.
it was out of body. It was out of world. It was my world. It was me. I don't know what else to say.
That's cool. No, I understand what you're saying to a certain degree. Very good. Beautiful experience. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful message, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou, for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.